Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
With you, the randomly delicious?
No, it's just every time I hear one of the liners, I think back to that day, which was just fantastic. I just still could, the thought of a business using that liner, that slogan just cracks me up.
And it's our business. You're the leader of this business. Randomly delicious.
No, the fact that you thought that there was a company that was using that was
it's the Lucky Charms deal, yeah.
It's
randomly
still
delicious.
Very comical to me.
Well, you know,
it tickles me.
That's the goal here, Jamie, is to
tickle me.
Is to tickle you. Yeah,
tickle me, Jamie.
Tickle you and see if we can entertain you. Because if we can entertain you, then we can, I think, entertain the vast majority of our fine listening audience, because you're smart, intelligent gentleman.
Why are we
getting there?
Spouting off lies this morning?
Oh, because we're randomly delicious. The Dallas Cowboys, they had a couple of their games revealed for the upcoming season. The full schedule gets revealed on Thursday by the National Football League. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. The Cowboys and the New York Giants will be involved in the first Sunday night game of the season. The Giants will actually host the Cowboys. And then the Cowboys will host the Philadelphia Eagles on Thanksgiving in Week 12. So that will be a magically delicious game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I mean,
that some of us are going to miss.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, we're
going to miss it.
We're
Chuck.
all going to miss it.
Chuck, you and me specifically are going to miss that game.
We're gonna miss it. Yeah,
because if it's an 11 o'clock kick, let's just say Thanksgiving Day is an 11 o'clock kick. It won't be, but let's just say that it is. We will be busy with the post game show and tear down right around the time that game ends. If it's a night game, we will be busy doing Optimum Game Day Live. Yeah, we. Specifically, you and I are going to miss that game.
Okay. It'll be all right. Thanksgiving.
Says the Chiefs fan.
Yeah, we'll see where I am, too, on that day.
You're going to be doing Optimum Game Day Live.
I'm confused. Are we angry? What are we doing here?
Yeah. I am frustrated there's a Thanksgiving game. Yes.
Oh, for Texas Tech?
Yes. Because of the Cowboy conflict.
Okay.
I will be at the Texas Tech game. I will be there with bells on.
Jeff can watch TV and be mad eating his turkey.
Yes. Because then I'm happy because I have turkey.
Okay. So anyway, the Cowboys will be playing on Thanksgiving again this year, just like they do every year. They'll host the Philadelphia Eagles, which should be a fantastic matchup. The Cowboys will also be playing in the NFL's first ever game. I guess I didn't know this. I know it's been announced. Maybe it just wasn't on my radar. But they're going to play in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
That will take place in Week 3, in which they'll have 9 international games that will be played by National Football League teams in 2026. So the full international slate will be revealed tomorrow morning at about 8 o'clock. What I didn't know, and this is kind of weird how this is gonna work out. They're calling Week 1 in the NFL September 9th through the 14th. The first game is to be announced at the Seattle Seahawks because they're the Super Bowl champ. So they're starting on a Wednesday this year, because the 49ers and the Rams are going to play in Melbourne, Australia on Thursday, September the 10th. And then the Cowboys will play the first Sunday night game on Sunday, September the 13th. That'll be at MetLife there in New Jersey. Then the start of Week 2 will be September the 17th, and then the Bills will get to showcase their new stadium when they play host to the Detroit Lions. Okay. And then there's the start of week 3. So that's the start of week 2. So there'll be more games that will be announced that will fill in the gaps. But in week 1, that September 9th game and September 10th game, those will be exclusive to those 2 games. And then the full schedule for Sunday, September the 13th for week 1 will be released. I am guessing you are as anti the Melbourne game as you are the Tokyo games for Major League Baseball? Yes, absolutely. I don't understand. I think there's a second reason Chuck is anti going to Australia for this game too. That's a big one that he's had a big problem with for a very, very long time. Okay. It'll be a spring football game. Oh, because it's summertime. It'll be spring there. Yes, spring there. Yeah, spring football in Melbourne. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of this. But you know, the NFL at some point in time is going to place a team in London or someplace like that. There'll be some kind of expansion or things like that. I mean, this worldwide kind of global NFL is that's where it's headed to. And I would imagine that's probably the most that's probably the sport that's most kind of agreeable with that type of schedule, because it'd be hard to do an NBA team like that. It would be hard to do a Major League Baseball team like that. Mm-hmm. Just the number of games.
Yeah, I still think it would be hard for NFL though too. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It's probably the easiest, but I still don't think it would be that easy. Yeah.
So we'll, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But 9 games this year, and let me ask you this: if I could, don't think about the teams, but I'm going to send you to an NFL game. You have your choice between Australia or Rio. Where would you go?
Australia. Okay. In a heartbeat.
Yeah. You would too?
In a heartbeat.
I'd go to Rio. I think that'd be fantastic. I mean, Australia would be okay, but like Rio, I'd want to go to the beach,
I promise you, there's some really good beaches in Australia.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I think the kind of beaches Chuck is looking for are more likely to be in Rio.
I think the ones he's looking for are more likely in Europe, actually. But that's a different type of beach altogether.
And I want to see,
Yeah, we know.
Jesus,
we know what you want to see.
No, I want to see Jesus on the top of the mountain there. I think that'd be cool too. There in Rio.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is Tuesday, May the 12th, 2026. Here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
1955 is where we will start, because the Chicago Cubs, Sam Toothpick Jones. He's the first African-American to pitch a no-hitter, winning 4-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirates at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Nice.
Well, having a toothpick in his mouth the whole time.
Probably.
That'd be my guess.
Speaking of the Cubs, 1970, Ernie Banks hits his 500th career home run.
There you go.
4 years later, the 28th NBA championship wrapped up. Boston Celtics beat Milwaukee 4-3. 1996, Yankees are losing 8-0 to the Chicago White Sox. They would come back and win 9-8. And in 2019, one of the reasons this guy has a road named after him, Texas Tech men's track and field coach Wes Kitley gets to celebrate a 2019 Big 12 Outdoor Track and Field Championship. The 4x100 meter relay team garnered a first-place finish on the way to breaking the Big 12 outdoor record by 0.02 seconds. Divine Oduduru recorded his first sub-10-second 100-meter dash time in the conference championship history at 9.99.
Oh, wow.
It is National Nutty Fudge Day.
Okay.
I'm in.
I don't care for the nuts and the fudge.
Big time happy birthday going out to Tony Hawk, who's 58. Emilio Estevez, 64. Emily Van Camp is 40. Vin Rhymes is 67. Lance Lynn, 39. Felipe Alou, 91. And George Carl is 75. And on this day, 1932, not good. The body of aviation hero Charles Lindbergh's baby is found more than 2 months after he was kidnapped from the family Hopewell, New Jersey mansion. The kidnapper had used a ladder to climb to the open second-floor window and had left muddy footprints in the room. In barely legible English, the ransom note demanded $50,000. It was actually up to $70,000 later. Ransom was paid. Baby was not returned. On May 12th, a renewed search of the area near the Lindbergh mansion turned up the baby's body. He had been killed the night of the kidnapping and was found less than a mile from the home. The heartbroken Lindberghs ended up donating their home to a charity and moved away. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. Sam Toothpick Jones was also known as Sad Sam. And if you look at his picture on Wikipedia, he doesn't have a smile on his face. He looks like Sad Sam. Looks like a sad Sam.
Well, as long as he's not the son of Sam.
He's not the son of Sam, no.
So he has resting sad face.
I guess so. He also pitched for Cleveland, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Tigers, and the Orioles. He had quite a little career, 103 and 104. But
Resting sad face horse name.
But he went 103 and 104, had almost 1,400 strikeouts. But, Jamie, his ERA was 3.63, so probably didn't get a whole lot of run support.
Sounds like it.
In his 104 losses. Okay. Let's see here. Adam Schefter is reporting. I think he just likes to do this because he's got the inside skinny from the NFL. The first Monday night game this year, September the 14th, will be the Broncos and the Chiefs. The game site still has not been determined, as the NFL is, according to Schefter, still finalizing its schedule for Thursday's release. Oh, come on. They've got that schedule set. They're not still finalizing, not on Tuesday. That schedule person, they know what they're doing. They're just not revealing everything yet. Can't tell me that that there's not already a destination for all of these games. That's horse hockey right there. That's what that is. 6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Man, this was sad. Really, really sad. A University of Missouri running back, Ahmad Hardy, who was a first-team All-SEC pick last year, was shot as he was leaving a concert early Sunday morning in Mississippi. They think that he will be able to play football again. There's optimism for that, but how quickly he can return and the impact has yet to be determined. The school announced Monday a timeline for his return to football activities is unknown at this time. It's terrible. Just he is from Mississippi, Oma, Mississippi. He was second amongst FBS players with 1,649 rushing yards last season. So you go from being a guy that was going to be a big contributor to your football team to a young man who was assuming and apparently a victim in a shooting at a concert. Goodness gracious.
Well, you hate your
yes. Oh, my God, yes. 6:51 this morning here on the Morning Drive. If you have a thought or a comment, hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to T973.com for that, or the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. This person suggests this. Hawaii does it. The NFL should go ahead with a conference over the pond. Hawaii does it. What does that mean? Hawaii does it. Hawaii could be a destination, I guess, but I don't know if they could support a football team. It's very expensive to live in Hawaii for those, but the NFL players could afford it, I guess.
I think if the NFL is going to expand to Europe, it can't just be one team.
Do you think 2?
I think at least 3.
Oh.
So that if a team is going to Europe, they spend a month there, and they hit all 3 of the teams there for home games.
Boy, that would be hard.
It would be long for the players for sure, but you're acclimated to the time change. You can't be asking these guys to be going back and forth and be able to play the game the way they want to play it. You have the bye week before you go. You spend 3 weeks overseas. Then you come back.
I did not sign up for 3 weeks overseas when I wanted to go into the NFL draft. Yeah.
You signed up to play football at a professional level when you signed up for the NFL draft.
The National Football League, not the Worldwide Football League.
Oh, then they'd call it the World Football League. Oh, they've already tried that. Didn't work out so well.
No, I'm pretty sure they just call it the National Football League.
National Football League. Kind of
Yeah,
keep
we're
it.
going to take you away from your family for 3 weeks. Yeah, not so much.
At least it'd be probably a month, like
Yeah.
Jeff said, because you'd probably have to have a week off in there as well. So yeah, I'm with. At some point in time, but you can only make planes fly so fast. I mean, they don't have the Concorde.
Well, and we
anymore.
slowed them down, so that doesn't help either.
Right.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. We read them all, just not all of them to you. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are mid. Well, read them all. Read them all. If you haven't seen this coming, then you haven't been paying attention. The NFL is about to have a whole division overseas. Okay. Then somebody else says, I doubt the Players Association would go for that in terms of having teams play in London and playing there for a month. Okay. Yeah, it could be that'll be interesting to see what transpires there.
Yeah, that would really surprise me if that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got something. It's a kind of a longer conversation because Greg Sankey was available to a big long discussion with the Associated Press, and there's a great article in The Athletic about it. I think we'll get to that at 8:00 that talks about going to 24 teams, the NCAA basketball tournament expanding to 76, and the football calendar in general. And of course, he's got a big say in that. But something else that caught my eye, not that I want to be in the courts every day, but this is interesting only because they actually won something against some Nebraska football players. The College Sports Commission won its first binding arbitration test on Monday. A neutral arbiter, if there's such a thing, affirmed the College Sports Commission's rejection of name, image, likeness deals between Nebraska football players and Playfly Sports, which validates the Commission's authority to designate the school's multimedia rights partner, an associated entity under the House versus NCAA settlement. Such deals are barred under the College Sports Commission rules. Those deals under scrutiny are worth more than $1 million combined. Okay. Jeffrey Kessler, who is the lead counsel for the House plaintiffs, made clear that the ruling doesn't settle what he believes is a broader fight over the College Sports Commission's enforcement reach. And this is important because of how this is going to be ruling in terms of these deals, because you're trying to get around the $20.5 million salary cap to take care of some of your athletes.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So they actually won something.
Yay! Way to go!
Brian Seeley, who is the CEO of the College Sports Commission, said that Monday's ruling was proof that the new enforcement system can do what the House settlement intended. This case was never about whether these student athletes can get paid. It was about whether they can get paid in this way, and a determination was they could not get paid in this way, and the arbitrator agreed with us on that. I mean, these court cases are not going to go away. I mean, it's just going to get more and more and more and more. And Kessler told CBS Sports, this is just one deal decided by one arbitrator. That is how the arbitration system works. Broader issues will be decided by the court, where we just filed our reply brief in support of our motion against defendants and the College Sports Commission for overreaching in their enforcement in violation of the settlement. So again, whatever he says, he's going to say something else. So it can't be simple. It continues to be complicated. The College Sports Commission so far has denied 1,153 deals since the NIL Go platform launched last June. Only 21 have ended in arbitration. So they have cleared, Jamie, almost 27,000 deals worth almost $242 million in the first 10 months. So on one hand, you can say, well, the deals worked. On the other hand, you can say, well, okay, we've denied 1,100 roughly, and we've passed through almost 27,000. So clearly something's working right there. But at any rate, so it's never going to be as easy as, well, we got $20.5 million to play with, or whatever the number is going to be increasing to each year, because people are going to try to work around it.
Yes, that would be the expectation, but legally work around it.
Yeah. And there's probably going to be some illegally working around it too.
Sure.
Or a gray area working around it. The old, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing kind of deal, you know? And then it becomes is, well, how much teeth does the NCAA have left to be able to go after, and then what becomes the penalty? Because some people are like, well, who cares? I mean, whatever, you know. And that's what's going to be interesting to see if anything changes, and to see if they, you know, the old guard goes after the new guard schools in terms of saying, look what they're doing, look what they're doing, look what they're doing, even though they may be doing some of the same stuff. They're just hiding it better because they've been doing it longer like that.
Okay. I was going to say, I think that kind of stuff has gone on a long time.
Without question.
Look at us, or look at them, just don't look at us.
Yeah. So, right. What do you? They're over here doing it. They're doing it way worse than what we ever thought about doing. You know. So it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how that all comes down the pike and who they go after. Do you feel that Texas Tech, to a certain degree, has become a poster child, or has been in some of this you've done because you've spent so much money on, whether it's a softball pitcher or your football team in particular, those two entities? Do you feel like you've become kind of a target where people root against you because of that?
I do.
And
I do.
It doesn't necessarily feel like that's fair.
I think it depends on which sport we're talking. I think there's some of that in college football. So for Red Raider football, I don't think that way for our men's or our women's basketball programs. But I don't. Nobody's going to disagree with me on this, that it feels like the softball world has not loved how everything has gone down here.
Yeah. And I wonder too. I think it feels like that some of that's been held against you, even though other schools and other sports have spent similarly. Maybe they felt like that softball was this pure and pristine sport that has now been tainted by money. The softball purists. I'm not a softball purist, so I can't speak for them, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it just kind of feels like that. I mean, other teams have expensive players too. Yeah, it just feels like that because you've had the one that made so much, and that stood out, obviously. I think it was the price increase, right? Mm-hmm. Again, the number that was reported that the highest paid college softball player before Nigel Kennedy was $50,000. $50,000. It went from $50,000 to $1 million. To $1 million. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. Yes, it's a big jump. It'd be like, hey, but that's what apparently took, So, I mean, you'd have to think that we were pretty good negotiators on that. I mean, but yeah, you go from...
We were good negotiators?
I say, well, not we.
Seems like she won.
She won. She won. No question she won. No
she
question.
won.
Yeah, no question she
the
won.
good news is that she continues to win because she's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're glad she's winning for us.
Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, I know Chuck is a frequent listener of the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, so
Yeah, I enjoy that show.
I hope he wasn't listening during this question yesterday because I'm going to use the same one.
Okay, good. Well, I was hoping you would.
Oh, man.
But I can't. I can't remember what the question is right now.
Okay. All right. So Jeff, he was probably busy working, so he probably didn't hear the question. The question today is: your level of concern, is it higher for the Texas Tech quarterback position or the men's basketball roster acquisition?
Man,
what is your level? Which one is your level of concern higher for?
Yeah. I'm concerned about both of them. Okay, so if you're to ask me, I'm going to couch it this way. If you're going to ask me which sport right now is closer to winning a national championship in the next calendar year, I'm going to say football. To me, it's not even close because your basketball acquisitions have not been anywhere near to what you need. In my view, in my look at getting yourself where you can say we're a Final Four team. So my concern is quarterback. My concern is, what's Will Hammond going to look like when he's back healthy? How many games is Sorsby going to be out, or is he going to be out completely? And what do the first 4 games look like for Texas Tech if Hammond isn't able to play until your second Big 12 game? So to me, it's quarterback because I think Tech football is closer to winning a national championship this calendar year than men's basketball.
Okay. I don't think there's any red tint to my glasses today for the Red Raiders. There could be. Until May 17th or 18th, I am not worried about Red Raider basketball at all. 0%. That's the last day of the NBA Combine for players that are in the draft. That's when they're going to start figuring out what their chances are to be drafted. There's going to be guys that are going to be in the draft right now that will not on the 18th. And I am assuming that you have contacted the people that need to be contacted with the guys that you're going after, and you are waiting on them to determine what their idea is. And that you will be getting guys from that to finish out your roster. Not concerned. Ask me this question again in June. We may have a different conversation. So football exponentially higher. There's enough concern there that, kind of one of the things that I said during football season this past year. How did I know Texas Tech was good? Because my uncle and my dad, who casually pay attention because of me and us working here, were asking me every week. My dad asked me about the quarterback situation at Tech coming up and what we're going to do this past week. It's an issue. There's questions that we have to get answered on that. Okay.
I am with Chuck. I would say, if I'm being completely honest, I don't have a high level, super, super high level of concern for either. Okay. Meaning, I still am in the camp of, the track record matters for Grant McCaslin and his staff. And I'm going to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not going to run around like my hair's on fire or anything like that.
What would it take for that?
take?
You to run around with your hair on fire. Because I believe you.
I'll think of something. Okay. I am also not super worried about the quarterback position because I think you have an extremely talented roster around whoever is going to be the quarterback, which I am now on record of saying I do not think it will be Brendan Sorsby. So I believe I'm more concerned with men's basketball, and the reason being because what are you missing from your roster right now? Bigs. And I think bigs are harder to find and cost more money and all the above. I think they're going to be more difficult to bring into the mix. I know you're chasing a big man from Europe and all that good stuff, and let's hope he comes to the table. Even if you bring him in, that's really still one quality big. I mean, you've got some projects over there that you're working with. I get it. But it just doesn't feel like you're going to have a lot of interior depth this year.
Yeah, as it stands right now.
As it stands right now. But I don't think it's going to end up being a strong suit for you. I mean, you think you're going to pull 3 of them? You might get one.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get 2 or 3 of them? I think at this point that's unlikely.
Yeah, especially with where we are in terms of how long this quote off-season cycle has been going on, and how everybody else is kind of up the ante with their roster. But
again, I like what you've added. I think Christian Anderson is still a possibility. I grow a little bit more nervous about that as the days go by. But I still think that you can be a good basketball team. I just don't know that you're going to be an elite basketball team without some big time help in the post.
What are you more worried about with Anderson? That he would go to the NBA or go to a different college team?
The NBA.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not possible that he would go to a different college team.
The mock draft that I'm looking at, and I would think that if he was kind of slated to go this late, he would probably come back to Texas Tech. This one from Yahoo Sports has him going to Minnesota with the 28th pick overall. That's as late a pick in the draft as I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen a lot of 16s and stuff like that. But I think if
yes, it feels like you see a lot more in the teens than anything else. Yeah, mid to late teens.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if he went that late. But it's all based on team need and stuff like that. And if you start falling, then man, you've really put yourself in a pickle, so to speak.
And you never want to be in a pickle.
No, I like.
If I was in a pickle, I would run around with my hair on fire. I'd rather have my hair be on fire than to be inside of a pickle.
Inside of a pickle. Okay.
Yes.
Christian Anderson in this CBS mock draft, 19th to the Toronto Raptors.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline at 2 is open, 806-771-0973. Scott ponders this question with regard to Texas Tech softball, and they'll be in action on Friday. They'll take on Marist. We'll have it at 3. Balls and Strikes at 3:30 from Tracy Sellers Field. I wonder what are Mississippi's chances to steal this Lubbock Regional, saving their best hurler for Texas Tech, and have a great hitting weekend, ? Man, the way these pitchers pitch, I'm not sure saving anybody for anything, especially when you're in a do-or-die situation.
Well, I would imagine they'll save their best person for Saturday and not use them against Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess. But maybe they feel like their best person can pitch, whatever, 2 straight days or 3 straight days, and and not have to worry about it. And so maybe they don't feel that way. I'm thinking of it like from the baseball side of things when I need to think differently. But yeah, I bet there's probably some of that as far as, hey, we're going to save ourselves for that matchup on Saturday, which is a massive one, right? That winner's game on Saturday is huge.
Yeah. Because, I mean, man, I hate saying this, but it's just the doggone truth. With as much money as you've spent, I mean, you spent this much money to not only get to Oklahoma City, but to win the whole doggone thing. And if you don't get out of Lubbock, it's a failure season.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Despite winning the Big 12 regular season championship, that means next to nothing.
If you don't make it to Oklahoma City, it's a failure season.
Yeah, based on what you spent.
Well, and your expectations.
Yeah, you
can take the money out of it and just look at the expectations that come from what you spent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roster creation, however you want to.
Yeah.
It's not even making it to Oklahoma City. If this team isn't hoisting a trophy at the end of the year,
I would
it's a
think
disappointing
there's
season.
Disappointing, yes, but not failure. If you're in the Women's College World Series, it's still.
That's a significant achievement still to make it to the World Series.
Yes, disappointment. And did you finish below expectations? Yes, but I think there's a difference between that and failure. Mm-hmm. But if you're not there, it's a failure.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's got to be a concern when your last outing, he just couldn't hit the ball, and it's like.
Yeah, it's one day.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
One day.
I know.
It's one day.
I said
all season long, you've hit the ball with numerous players. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm not saying you just throw that away and ignore it, but you've been a team that can hit the ball. It's one day.
Yeah,
it's one day. I mean, heading into that game again, you had outscored your opponents 21-0 in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah,
you just had a bad day.
You probably would be more concerned if you gave up 10 runs and you only scored a couple, but you only gave up 4 runs in that Big 12 championship game, and they were all off home runs. So, you probably would be more concerned if you gave up 10 and you scored 2 than by giving up 4 and scoring none, because like you said, it's one day.
It's one day.
It's one day. So, yeah, Scott, I wonder, but I hope that we don't have to wonder very long, because I hope you just kind of take it to them. I mean, the best thing that could happen for you on Friday is just run Rural Marist and get off the field as quick as you can, and then get ready for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really, really talented roster. I have a hard time thinking they are not going to be extremely motivated after the Big 12 tournament.
You might even say that their hair will be on fire. There'll be hair on fire going into that game.
I feel like Marist better just be careful. The bear has been adequately poked. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it, but they're going to have to reap the benefits of it.
That's right. That's right. Somebody offers this nugget, and I'm just going to, I'm going to assume it's true. Was looking at where the men's golf championships will be next year. Shows the Rawls course hosting a regional next year. That's a huge deal. Yes, it is.
I remember them announcing that.
Yeah, I think so too. That is a huge deal for a couple things. One,
should help you.
Yeah, but it should help you, right?
Playing on your home course,
right? And for those that play the Rawls course on a regular basis, that course will be in tip-top shape.
Oh yeah, that too.
It'll make it'll be harder too. They'll make it harder. I'm sure there'll be some.
Unless they say, hey, we got to have it in tip-top shape. You hacker Heinz, you're not allowed out there.
There'll be some grousing by people that play there on a regular basis. Hey, you play it out here, the regional, you got the rough growing up really hard. I can't find my golf ball.
Stay out of the rough, Chuck.
That's right. Stay out of the rough, and you won't have that problem.
They mow that part in the middle for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. They have the nice grass right there in the for you, and it's all right there. It's nice and soft and green and lush and begging you to hit it out of the green, and you got to go put it over there in the rough. Yeah. 8:08 this morning here on the morning drive. We get this. It is so hard to make it to Oklahoma City and much harder to win it. You got to have some luck too, right? But I understand that. It's just they put themselves in this spot. I mean, with what they acquired and what they did.
Yes.
Albert reminds, one day of bad play in college basketball can cost you everything in the tournament. I honestly think with as much money as you spend on this team, 1 or 2 innings is allowable, not one whole game. The problem is that you kind of get into this. The game goes by so fast that it's just crazy kind of how if momentum starts going back the other way, it's hard to regain it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we'll talk a little Greg Sankey next, and SEC thoughts on college football playoff expanding to 24, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.